Okay, I have a tasty morsel to deliver to you today. We go to Don Lemon, who was talking about, I don't know, he was just raging against white men. It was so pathetic. Oh my God. First of all, Don Lemon is fucked by a white man, so his husband is a white man. Don Lemon is a mulatto himself and has whiteness in his own blood, which is, he needs a therapist. But it's ridiculous on many fronts that a black man would criticize a white man for violence, gun violence even. Like, both cases are crazy with the lie of omission and hypocrisy of, wait a minute, if that's your condemnation for white men, where is it for black men? Because it should be 100 times over for them, but they're not even being discussed. And we're sitting here under the ridiculous mulatto gaslighting that there's a problem with white men. Anyway, the Young Turks, of all people, decide to cover this and condemn Don Lemon for being, quote, racist and lumping all people together. And for them, of all people, to criticize him for doing the exact same thing they have done for centuries is actually kind of wild and, delicious. So let's watch.
White men, something is broken. Something is cracked deep inside when so many of you believe the answer to fear, to loss, to change is violence. Are you listening to me? I hope I'm saying it loud enough for the people in the back.
I don't like this. I don't like generalized statements about any group of people, but nonetheless, yes.
How does that fit in with your statement towards the Jews that you call yourself the chosen people, but you act like demons? Does not compute, Anna.
Yesterday's episode of the Don Lemon Show was titled, "White Men, Are You Okay?" Now, Lemon was specifically responding to the horrific Mormon church shooting over the weekend. And it was a horrific shooting. The perpetrator also lit the church on fire. Two of the individuals who died as a result of the fire. Two others died because of gunshot wounds. But this was also an individual who had multiple deployments to the Middle East. He was a Marine, and we all know that there is a huge problem with our veterans not getting the treatment and the mental health care they need. So maybe the problem's actually a little more deep than someone's skin color. But nonetheless, over the course of this hour-long segment, he repeatedly blamed white men as a whole, kind of generalizing, for the epidemic of mass shootings in America. Here's more.
White men, are you okay? Are you okay? Because until you are, this country won't be okay. Until there's some sort of reckoning with your rage, with your racism, with your radicalization. It is white male radicalization.
It's crazy. Like, Don Lemon is the same guy who took shit because when he was at CNN, he did a whole segment on, let's get real, black men are the problem. Black men do more crimes, they're in the prison system more. He was very matter of fact about it. And he was trying to be, objective or have integrity or care about the issue of actually discussing crime. He apparently has taken on more estrogen in his older years, and his message is completely radically different than what it was before. And it's absurd. Like, on its face, it's insane. And the fact that this was triggered by one white guy doing something, and we're just like, hey, per capita's out the window, all the stats, black people, how on earth is he thinking that black people are off the hook? If you want to talk about crime and the disproportionate nature of who's committing it. Seriously, when you are one search away, like, you could, in 10 seconds, figure this out. Provided that you have access to ChatGPT, which, you could be a boomer. But, think of how audacious it is for people to spout a lie, knowing he must know that we're 10 seconds away from finding out that he's lying. But he says it anyway. And is it for his audience or is it for himself? He obviously enjoys trying to browbeat white people and say, what is wrong with you? You okay? You broken?
The reason there is so much violence and chaos in the black precincts is the disintegration of the African American family.
He's got a point. In fact, he's got more than a point. Bill?
Raised without much structure, young black men often reject education and gravitate towards the street culture, drugs, hustling, gangs. Nobody forces them to do that. Again, it is a personal decision.
He is right about that too. But in my estimation, he doesn't go far enough.
And we need to fight it like the national emergency that it has become. Because the next shooter is already watching. The next shooter is already waiting. It's already soaking in the lies, the conspiracies, all the excuses. So wake up, white men.
Fucking hell. Again, projection. So the lies, Don Lemon is lying. Lying by omission, lying about the nature of white crime. It's a lie. It is a conspiracy. He just accused us of soaking up conspiracies. And the excuse is he's not even bothering to make an excuse for black people. He's not even mentioning them. They're somehow out of sight and out of mind while we're discussing burrowing down to a certain demographic, racially speaking, in America and condemning them for their violence. And black people are not mentioned? But it is coming from a black person to a white person? Like, it's theater of the absurd. It's like, Don, here's a point. Here's a hello.
What the is wrong with you?
Absolutely nothing. Literally absolutely nothing. So there are individual white men who are, problematic, and I kick them out of the white race. So problem solved. But yes, if you want to talk, there are individual problematic people in every group. And now comes the dangerous question, who's doing it more? And here comes an even more advanced thought, per capita. Uh-oh. So you probably don't want to get on a moral crusade to shame a race if you want to talk about crime and you want to talk about who's doing it the most. Like, don't even start. You obviously don't want to talk about black crime, even though it's by far and away the most prevalent source of crime in our country and in every country where they exist. Just imagine a guy being this sad and this diabolically disingenuous. He's a lying piece of shit.
Don't you realize if you're a poor or average person that you have more in common, gonna blow your mind, with a person of color than you do with the billionaire class or the millionaire class?
What the fuck? You're the millionaire class, you fuck. What does this have to do with anything? You're talking about crime and demographics, and all of a sudden you're like, some people have more money than you. So? Wait, how many billionaires are there? 10? Like, what are you talking about? Who cares? The millionaires? What does that have to do with anything? They have more money than you. So what? You're talking about people shooting people for a variety of reasons. You're talking about mental health. You're talking about greed and crime and gun violence. What does that have to do with class warfare and your pathetic little side quest of like, millionaires and billionaires are bad, let's all unite against them? The fuck? You're one of those people, Don. Idiot. Has nothing to do with anything, and it's totally off the topic of you apparently and pathetically trying to gaslight us like white Americans are the problem when it comes to violence.
Who are co-opting you into thinking that something is happening that's not?
Something that's happening that's not. Oh, like white violence is the scourge of our country?
They're grifting off of your ignorance.
I agree with that very last point. And this is a broad point that I think needs to be made over and over again.
Okay, so this is fucking dumb. So Anna goes on and picks up on the tangent point of class warfare, which is basically Marxism, of like, let's go after billionaires and millionaires. Why? What? These people are businessmen and entrepreneurs and they've earned their money and they give back and they pay taxes and donate to charities. What the fuck are you talking about? What kind of world view is this? You're like, no, they're the enemy. Let's go get them. They have the money. What? Shut up.
Ordinary working class Americans have.
To witness the rest of this video, sign up at censored.tv. Be sure to use the coupon code ROOM to get 20% off. Or you can head over to subscribestar.com/atheism and join up to receive every full-length new video Devon makes. It barely costs anything to sign up. You know he deserves your support, and you deserve to be entertained by every new video AIU creates. So become a flying monkey and let's go.